Hello everyone, welcome to my first video. I'm going to make a video about loops and I'm using dev C++, that's dev bloodshed. So I'm going to create my first project, and I'm going to use console application. I'm going to create, then save. So this is what we shall be having on our screen. So from here we are going to move to our next step, which is using using namespace std, and we are going to start with the while loops. There are three main loops that we shall be using. That is to say, we have the for loop, we shall have the while loop, and then finally we shall continue with the do while loop. So there are three major loops. As you can see, we have the while loop, we have the do while loop, we have the for loop. So to begin with, I'm going to start with the while loop, and in the while loop, first, to create a while loop, we need to first declare the variables. And to declare a variable, that means we are going to have the variable type, then continue with the variable name. Our variable name is going to be I. So with that, we have declared our variable. So the next step I'm going to do is to initialize our variable. To initialize our variable, I'm going to give our variable a value. So that's to say I is equal to 0. This is going to be our beginning value. So to continue, I'm going to start with our while loop as we said earlier. So this is going to be while, then into these brackets I put the condition. The condition is going to be while I is less or equal to 5, the loop shall have to print out the value of I, and here we shall have it in brackets as I is the value of I will end, and this will be true and this will print out if I is less than 5. And if I is less than 5, we shall have to increment the value of I by 1 until we reach the value of 5. So from here, with this we have created the while loop, and this while loop is going to print out values of I from 0 to 5, as we can see main. So this is while loop. So if you are to print out, we shall have to get the values of I from 0 to 1. As you can see here, the first one that we initialized was I is equal to a 0, and the loop has printed out all the values of I that are less or equal to 5, from 0 to 5, as we had initialized it earlier. So from the while loop, we can have a do while loop, and this do while loop is going to do exactly the same thing as the while loop. The difference is going to be in the arrangement. So here in the do while loop we shall have to first print out to this, then we come to the condition, which is the while. So here we shall have this condition, which is that, let me copy it up to here and put it there. Then we shall have the condition come in later, lastly. So when you copy this, bring it down here, paste it, then I terminate. So I'm going to comment out this, the whole of this while loop, as we are done with it. So I'm going to comment it out by using this comment that. So with this is going to do the same thing as the while loop. However, the difference is going to be in the arrangement. As the do while loop, we are going to first type out the statement, then we come to the condition lastly. So as we had said, in the while loop, we first declare our variable, which is I, then we initialize our variable to we initialized our variable I to 0. So here we said in our condition that the value of I will be from 0 up to 5, as the loop is true for all values of I between 0 and less or equal to 5. So if we print out to this, we shall have to get values of I between 0 and 5. So let's check out our values. Here, as we can see, we have from 0 up to 5. As we had said that the value of I is going to be from 0 and it's going to be less or equal to 5. So this is our last value. However, if we say that we shall need the values of I that are less than 5, we shall not get 5 inclusive in our results. So we shall have to get the values of I between 0 and 4 with the 5 exclusive. So if we print out this, we shall have the value of I where it's 5 excluded, since we have said we need the values of I between 0 and 5. So from this, however, we can get also the values of I between 0 and 10, depending on the user's choice. So now we are going to come to the for loop. The for loop, we are going to look at the for loop. The for loop includes all the conditions. So here in the for loop, we are going to have it as for, open this, then in here we are going to have we are going to have to initialize the loop, which is I to be equal to a 0, and then we terminate. Then we go to the next one, which is going to be the condition. So we shall print out all values of I where I is less or equal to 5, and then from this we are going to also look at our next step, which is incrementing or decrementing the values. So since we have said from 0 up to 5, so this shall be incrementing the values. So we shall say I plus plus. So we shall be incrementing the value of I with 1. So from 0 plus 1 we shall get a 1, plus 1 we get a 2, 2 plus 1 we get a 3. So from here we shall go to the next step, which is printing out our statement. So our statement here is going to be the same statement. Allow me copy this. You're going to use the same statement, which is that. Print it out here. Then when we compile and run this for loop, we shall expect to get values of I between 0 and 5. So allow me comment out this do while loop. It ends here. So when I comment out this and I print this value, I'm going to get the values of I between 0 and 5. As you can see up here, we are getting the values of I between 0 and 5. And this for loop is mainly used for arrays. We can use it in pointers sometimes, and also we can use it in, actually the for loop we can use it in many things in programming, as we shall be seeing in the next tutorials that I will be making for you. So for now, we have looked at the while loop. First we went down to the do while loop, and finally we have come to the for loop. So catch up with me in the next video I'm going to make. We are going to go through the if statements, and then we go to the nested loops. We are going to first go to the nested loops, then we come finally to the if statements. So bye for now.